Hello my friends, my name is Irvin, also known as Kobume. Do you like to exercise, especially cardio type of stuff, but sometimes you just simply can't because it's too cold outside or it's way too hot? Well, for that reason I bought Weslo CardioStride 4.0 treadmill, and in this video I will show you how to put it together. This treadmill is incredibly affordable because it's not powered, however it's really good for walking and even running. The specific treadmill I only paid $75 for, so it's incredibly affordable and mostly under $100.
Hey, look, I'm sorry to cut off the video here, but I want to tell you something real quick. This is a really good example of how cold it is outside. It's 7 Fahrenheit, which is around -13 Celsius. Wind chill is additional -10 degrees up and down, so it's way below freezing. It's incredibly dangerous right now to do anything outside, let alone exercise. Here, have a look. And that's why it's a good idea to have a treadmill at home, right? Guys, this one is only $75 free shipping. You can't beat that. Link in the description box below.
At least they're labeled, now I know which one is right. They've got the wire being held there by a rubber band just in case it falls in, I'm assuming. That's actually pretty clever. Here's a lubricant pack for those that may need it. It says, caution, keep out of reach of children and animals. Do not take internally. It says avoid contact with skin and eyes. Well, that's unfortunate. And what is this? I like electronics. This looks like it might be some kind of electronic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Our Weslo buttons and screen. And there's a connector. Alright. I'll show you a little better picture here in a minute. I'm assuming this is like the bottom somewhere. So here are all the parts that came with it. Actually, not too bad. The biggest thing being the track. And you can see that's the magnetic part of it. So it's magnetic, it's not powered, right? And yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. We do have a manual there. And looks like we have some decoration. The plastic part, I'm pretty sure, the plastic part right there, I'm pretty sure it's just a decoration. But I do like electronics, so hopefully that does some good. And the screen is actually bigger than I expected, right? And it does come with these tools and these nuts and bolts. It doesn't look too bad, right? So let's get to it. I'll go ahead and build this together real quick and show you guys the results. As you can see, there aren't too many parts, but you just still have to be careful and follow the instructions precisely in order to build this properly. So the first thing it's telling me to do is attach the left and right hand rail to this bottom thing that's over here, right? So for the first part we're going to use 3, 2, and 1. So in this case we're going to use these nuts, we're going to use these bolts, and then we're going to use these washers.
building tools that come with this package are not that good, so I suggest using some proper tools.
Okay, so the instructions are telling me not to tighten these type of bolts yet. So the next thing I need to do is attach this hood. They call it a hood, so I'm assuming it goes like this way. So let me see what kind of screws I need, then I'm gonna make that happen. For this I'm going to use these smaller number 4 screws. They're 12 millimeters each. So all it is just 4 screws on each side, and it goes like this. And you can see where the screws go. Actually right here, one here and one there, and the same on this side. All right. So unfortunately, to screw these in, it came with this little screwdriver thing, but it's actually not even close. It's not gonna cut it because these are not threaded underneath, so it's really tough. So for that, I'm just gonna use a heavy-duty screwdriver to get it in there because it's really difficult. And it's actually really hard. So without one of these, you're not gonna go anywhere with that little thing. So the next thing to do is to connect the conveyor with the rail. As you can see here, we're going to be using these things. We're basically going to adjust its height, and I'm going to raise it up on both sides all the way to high because I like it on very high. So when it comes to this part, we got to do one last thing, is attach this safety pin. Let me just show you real quick. So it's basically going to go through the hole. I'm going to put it to the other because the picture kind of shows it, and you will see when I put it in. And once you put it through, you just use this little safety clip to ensure that it doesn't pull out.
Considering that this treadmill is less than $100, the build is actually pretty decent.
We do have 4 more screws to attach that will go underneath here and the other side as well. Now before we move on, we have to tighten these nuts down here. Remember, we left them loose so that things don't get twisted, otherwise things wouldn't align with everything. Remember how you put things together, they won't align unless you have things loose, and then you can tighten things. Now this is the tool that came with it. I'm not going to use this because frankly it's really crap, so I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to use something better that will make things much smoother. These do need to be tight, but don't go too crazy because you'll mess up the thread. You have to push from the bottom so this bolt kind of sits in its slot. It's slotted on the back side, so that way it doesn't spin when you turn it, right? So you just gotta make sure to do that. Finally, we're going to install our meter, and it's going to go right there. You see how it's being held, the wire is being held by the rubber band, which goes right there. And we're going to do that with a few screws. And that should do it. After that, we're going to test it out, see how it goes. Before you can use the treadmill, you need to lubricate it. The way you do that is you lift the belt up like this and then you squeeze underneath. I already did it on this side, I'm going to do it on the other side just so you guys can see. So lift it up, go from one side to another as much as you can. Now don't force it too much. Put it in there and squeeze until half of the bottle is gone. So just like this, and then just squeeze.
If you want to slow down on this machine, make sure you step forward and you will slow down. If you want to speed up, simply step backwards and make sure you hold on to the rails securely. Needless to say, I will be using this treadmill until it literally falls apart. If you're interested in this treadmill, link in the description below from Amazon. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.
Whew. So once you put a battery in back here, it takes two AA batteries. We have a few different modes. You can reset here, and you can set different modes. Right now it's set to speed, as you can see. This measures the speed, and if you press the mode, you can set it to distance, and you can set it to calories. For that little demonstration I did, I supposedly burned 12.5 calories. Overall, of course you have time, and you can reset it, you know, this and that. And it has all the basic stuff that you would expect in something like this. Now, let me just tell you about something. Make sure you hold on really tight when you're using this thing, because of course, as long as it's lubricated, it should be okay. But it does tend to get away because it's not machine controlled, right? It's not electronic, it's magnetic, right? So it varies depending on where you step on top of the treadmill, and I'll show you that in a sec. Of course, you might want to use this thing wearing shoes. I'm just doing this in socks, but I'm sure it's a little bit better in shoes. But you can see it varies. If I step on top, it can almost stop, right? So depending, it's all about the gravity, right? If I step down here, it's going to move more. So it's a bit of a learning curve. Just make sure you hold on really tight, and if you go further down, it gets really fast. But if you go up, you can slow down and even stop. So there's a bit of a learning curve. Guys, if you're interested in buying one of these, I will put a link in the description box below. So they're actually less than $100. This one I actually paid $75. But anyways, something like this runs anywhere between 75 to like 120, 150. But anyway, this one is less than $100. So if you want to check it out, it's definitely worth the price, right? It's fairly easy to assemble. And oh my God, I'm already winded. So yeah, I hope you like that. If you like this video and appreciate my assembly tips and all that, leave a like, leave a comment, share it with friends, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.